It is the biggest ever lockdown India has ever seen. 30 states and union territories have gone into a lockdown to contain the COVID-19 outbreak in the country, which so far has claimed 9 lives, infected 492, and the numbers are just increasing. The entire country has come to a halt. Curfew has been clamped in Delhi, Maharashtra, Punjab after the suspension of passenger trains. Metros, buses, domestic commercial flight services will also be suspended with effect from midnight tonight till the 31st of March. Now, the centre has also asked the states to strictly enforce the lockdown. Violation of the orders shall be punishable under Section 188 of the IPC, which can lead to a jail term of 6 months or a fine or both. All right, my colleagues are joining us on the broadcast, getting us more perspective on that story. Radhika Ramaswamy is joining us from Mumbai. Runjun is also with us from the national capital. Radhika, coming to you first. Empty streets is what I see behind you in Mumbai today. And I'm glad that is the case, that the Mumbaikas are following the lockdown. How does it look like? What are the reactions coming in so far?
As far as Mumbai or the rest of the Maharashtra is concerned, yes, we have been witness to empty streets, especially over the last 2 days, especially since the curfew started. And now it's a curfew-like situation as far as Maharashtra is concerned from today and at least till 31st. Yesterday's Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray made it clear, even after partial shutdown, he did witness that not many people are staying back home. People are venturing out. There are groups of people who were seen here and there, which is when Section 144 was imposed day before yesterday. And now, many other stricter measures have been taken. The state has ensured that not a single local train will run. So suburban trains are shut. BEST buses are running, but on very limited amount of BEST now buses are running. Also, they only allow people if they have an ID card proving that they belong to an essential service. So if that's not proved, then there will be action taken against them. So a lot of, checking also happening across the roads in Mumbai, where cops are stopping private vehicles. Only BEST buses are allowed at this point, and all the shops and establishments except essential services are shut. So we do see an empty Mumbai, something that we've not witnessed in the past. People are now resorting to stay back because they do not have a choice. There is a lot of checking that's going on, and of course state and district borders are also sealed. So apart from the flights being stopped, domestic as well as international, the fact that you can't even go from Mumbai to Pune is also another action that's being taken by the Uddhav Thackeray government. So yes, people are resorting to staying back inside their homes, apart from going out to get their essential services, of course. And an update now is that from the State Health Department, we got an update that 101 positive cases of Maharashtra so far. So it has crossed the 100 mark, 101, with 3 new cases in Pune and 1 in Satara since last night. So yes, this is the first state in the country to cross the 100 mark. So therefore, these stricter provisions, these stricter measures is the need of the hour at this point, especially in a city like Mumbai.
Absolutely. In a city like Mumbai, 101 positive cases so far. The Maharashtra government, of course, reporting all the cases which are coming forward. Lockdown is for your own safety and security. This is not a picnic that you can go out and hang out in a park or do a house party with friends. Quarantine means that we are trying to beat a virus, and that is exactly what we should do by remaining indoors. Runjun is also joining us from the national capital. Runjun, the borders were relatively more smoother today. There were less people trying to cross the border. Delhi police and the Noida police authorities, also in the NCR region, there has been an effort to discourage as many people as possible. As we go forward, stricter measures are in place in the national capital.
That's right. In fact, when you're out on the streets, if anyone is spotted, the police would stop them. And if you're not able to give a justifiable reason of why you're out, either you're in essential services, that's okay. But if you're not, and if you're not able to give a justifiable reason, the police is asking people to go back, to head back to their homes. In fact, as compared to yesterday, we're seeing less number of cars, private cars on the roads. In fact, what's now happening is that, when you see the police in every nook and corner, they are making an announcement and saying that this is for your own safety, this is for your own good. Please stay home as much as possible. And this is day 2 of the lockdown in the national capital. And people seem to be most of the people seem to be taking it very seriously. In fact, a lot of people that we spoke to are saying that if there's anything that we've learned from the mistakes of Europe in Italy is that these weeks, another 2-3 weeks, are extremely crucial for us. And it's a make or break time, and everyone wants to fight COVID-19 together in it. So of course the schools have been shut in the national capital for the last few weeks now. So have the malls and cinema halls. Since all the commercial establishments also are shut, people are not venturing out. People are trying to stay indoors as much as possible. In fact, there was a lot of panic buying that happened because
yesterday.
it was the first day of the lockdown yesterday. And as grocery stores are open, a lot, that's what. So people have stocked up food. They feel that since in other states they've also seen a curfew happen, they fear that a curfew might also happen in New Delhi, and which is why now people have stocked up. But one thing is for sure, that people are taking this lockdown very seriously. Most of them are taking it very seriously, and they want to make sure that we fight COVID-19 together by staying home.
By staying home, that is the only way. We don't have a vaccine or a cure in place right now. Your immunity, with the help of the doctors, can help you recover. But one of the sure shot ways of beating this virus is by remaining indoors. That is what the government want to do. With the population demographic and the density we have, we do not want this virus to spread any further. Now, even as the country battles COVID pandemic, the other pandemic that is reaching startling proportions is that of fake news. The Karnataka government's information department now has started a war room to control such information. My colleague Deepa Balakrishnan shows you a glimpse of all the measures which are being taken. Information from the correct source is of crucial value here. Have a look.
In the season of corona, what has also become increasingly worrying is that it's also become the season of fake news. And what we are currently doing is we are reporting to you from the information department of Karnataka government, which has its own Janasnehi control room for information dissemination. And basically, they've all been monitoring television channels, monitoring media, monitoring social media as well, looking at what kind of fake news is out there, especially on COVID in the last few weeks. I believe there is a Corona Warriors group that is now being set up. How many people will this have? What is the kind of functioning that it's expected to do?
See, the Department of Information and Public Relations has come up with a new initiative, which is the crisis is demanding now. This is called the Corona Warriors Group, which will have nearly 1,200 volunteers across Karnataka.
So these volunteers, they are citizens, they are welfare associations, they're doctors. What are they?
They are basically citizens. Basically, they should be aged 21 and above, and we will be screening them according to our expectations.
And what's their job? Their job is to go check about any fake news and come back?
Yes, whatever fake news we will be reported here with social media, television or newspaper, whatever we get the inputs, we will be contacting the particular district taluk volunteer, and we will be asking that person to go and visit the place immediately and find out what the reality is and report it back to us, so that we can clarify to the citizens that whether it is a fake or genuine news.
How important has this become, considering that fake news spreads much faster than truth any day?
See, this is highly important because more than the real medical emergency, the crisis that builds up because of this fake news is more dangerous, because it creates more panic in the citizens.
Busting fake news has become as important as tackling corona, the spread of corona itself on a war footing, and that's what is going to be done by Corona Warriors Group, and more or less some of them functioning out of this war room that's been set up at the information department.
Radhika and Ranjan continue to be with us on the broadcast. Radhika, I'm coming back to you to take a view from you. 101 positive cases, that is the update you gave us. Maharashtra has one of the highest numbers. It's good that the cases are being reported, that the community tracing, contact tracing can be done. So right now, any numbers that come on record are welcome. Also help us understand Uddhav Thackeray's government, what are the proactive measures they are taking? Yesterday, there was a statement from the Chief Minister where he said, you're not taking the lockdown seriously. I'm going to impose more restrictions upon you and with much more strictness.
Yes, absolutely. That's what Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray said in that digital press conference yesterday. He said that, people in Mumbai are not taking it seriously. Even on the day of the Janata curfew, there were a few people who were, gathered outside. They were making a big show in a group. So this has definitely not gone well with the state government, which is when Uddhav Thackeray said that there will be a curfew-like situation if this continues. And that's, something like that is what we are witnessing today.
Yeah.
He shut the state and district border yesterday. All the shops and establishments are anyway shut except essential services. The fact that local services are shut is big, local train services, because, lakhs and lakhs of people are dependent on suburban trains, but they are shut. Private buses are, of course, shut, and so is metro. Yeah. Also, BST buses. We saw a couple of BST buses plying on the road, but the conductor and the driver, it was completely empty. Whenever there is somebody who's stopping the bus, they ask them for an ID. They ask, what is your purpose
and I think,
of traveling?
Radhika, that is very important to make sure that the purpose of traveling
also
is only for the essential services. Okay. So I'm also going to cut across to my colleague Bhavani, who's joining us from Rajasthan on the phone line to get a perspective on what's happening in Bhilwara. It has been one of the smaller cities which has been struck by COVID-19. A lot of cases are being reported from one of the hospitals there. भवानी, आपसे जानना चाहूँगी, भीलवाड़ा से जिस तरह की खबरें आ रही हैं, काफ़ी डर है वहाँ पे कि किसी तरीके का कम्युनिटी स्प्रेड ना हो. एक पेशेंट जो अनडिटेक्टेड गया, मल्टीपल डॉक्टर्स ने उसको ट्रीट किया, बहुत सारे लोग उसके कांटेक्ट में आए. वहाँ का प्रशासन किस तरह की कार्यवाही और एहतियात बरत रहा है इस समय?
देखिए, ये पेशेंट से नहीं हुआ, ये डॉक्टर से हुआ. एक डॉक्टर था सबसे पहले जो रिपोर्ट हुआ था पॉजिटिव, उसके बाद में उसका कांटेक्ट में आए 2 डॉक्टर और हो गए, उसके बाद में नर्सिंग स्टाफ हो गया. अभी 13 केसेस हैं जो उस एक ही हॉस्पिटल से हैं, जिसमें नर्सिंग स्टाफ, डॉक्टर और एक डॉक्टर की वाइफ है. लेकिन जो कम्युनिटी स्प्रेड का सबसे बड़ा जो खतरा है कि उन्होंने जिन जिन पेशेंट्स को देखा है उन सबके सैंपल लिए गए और उस तकरीबन पूरे भीलवाड़ा शहर के अंदर डोर टू डोर सर्वे कराया जा रहा है. 75,000 घरों का सर्वे किया जा रहा है, जिसमें से तकरीबन अभी तक 15,000 घरों का किया जा चुका और अभी तक टोटल 150 लोगों को क्वारंटाइन किया गया अलग अलग एरिया के अंदर, जहां पर उनको रखा गया. उनके सैंपल्स है अलग अलग लिए गए हैं, तो डेली चेक किए जा रहे हैं और यही रिस्क देखा जा रहा है कि कम्युनिटी स्प्रेडिंग तो नहीं हो रही है.
जी भवानी, 2 चीजें जानना चाहूंगी. आप कह रहे हैं कि इन्फेक्शन डर ये है कि डॉक्टर्स से फैला था. वहां पे प्राइमरी सोर्स ऑफ इन्फेक्शन क्या डिटेक्ट किया गया था भीलवाड़ा में, विच वाज द फर्स्ट केस? एंड सेकेंडली, वहां पर किस तरह का हॉस्पिटल स्टाफ और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है, जो स्वास्थ्य की सेवाएं हैं उसकी मजबूती कितनी है, कितने हॉस्पिटल बेड्स हैं, कितने वेंटिलेटर्स हैं वहां पर?
देखिए, सबसे बड़ी बात तो ये है कि अभी तक ये आइडेंटिफाई नहीं हो पाया है कि सोर्स क्या था. हालांकि जो प्राइमरी इंफॉर्मेशन है जो डिटेक्ट की, उससे ये अंदाजा लगाया जा रहा है कि जो डॉक्टर सबसे पहले जो पॉजिटिव रिपोर्ट हुआ था उसके गेस्ट थे, कुछ सऊदी अरब से आए थे, उसके घर पर रुके थे, और लेकिन ये चेक नहीं हो पाया कि वो पॉजिटिव थे या नहीं थे. लेकिन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन यही मान के चल रहा है कि शायद उन गेस्ट की वजह से जो सऊदी अरब से आए थे, हो सकता है वो पॉजिटिव हो और उसकी वजह से वो डॉक्टर पॉजिटिव हुआ और उसके बाद में अस्पताल के अंदर जो कांटेक्ट में आए वो डॉक्टर, और उसके बाद में वो चेन बनती गई और नर्सिंग स्टाफ पर बाकी सब हुए. तो ये अभी तक प्राइम जानकारी. दूसरा ये है कि ये भीलवाड़ा शहर के अंदर 5 हॉस्पिटल्स के अंदर, हर हॉस्पिटल के अंदर 25% बेड है वो रिजर्व किए गए आइसोलेशन के लिए. ज्यादातर हॉस्पिटल्स को इंस्ट्रक्शंस जारी कर दिए गए कि वो तैयार है किसी भी स्थिति से के लिए कि मरीजों को लाया जा सकता, सस्पेक्टेड को वहाँ लाया जा सकता, ये कोशिश की जा रही है। पूरे भीलवाड़ा शहर को अभी तक सील कर रखा, कर्फ्यू अभी तक वहाँ पर जारी है, सब कुछ लॉकडाउन है, सिर्फ एसेंशियल सर्विसेज को लेकर। जी
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया भवानी for all the information that you're getting us this morning. As Bhavani is saying that the entire city of Bhilwara is amidst lockdown. The biggest fear there is of a community spread that God forbid should not happen in any town or city of our country. The prime source of infection has not been detected, but smaller towns are at a bigger risk because the population is small, closely knitted, and the risk of spreading infection is also higher. Here's also a ground report that my colleague Rishika sends us.
In Telangana, and this particularly is a situation. Let me just quickly show you how the situation is in the city. We are at a supermarket in Somajiguda, and it's day 2 where the essential services would be open till 7 p.m. Now from 7 p.m. Telangana will have a complete lockdown till 6 a.m. next morning. That means even the essential services will not be in place. That means a total lockdown, sort of a curfew sort of situation. Now the police has established checkposts and checking points at various centers in the city. They're stopping private vehicles. They're asking them to go back home because that in itself, that's the whole point of the lockdown. As of now in Telangana, there are 33 positive cases. 2 of them are primary contacts. So that has increased a little of panic in the city. And even if you see the situation on the roads, despite asking people to not step out unless it's an emergency, we could see a lot of private vehicles venturing on the roads, which is why the police has established checkpoints at various centers.
I'm going to go back to Runjun, who continues to be with us on the broadcast from the national capital. The national capital is under strict restrictions right now. The lockdown is being imposed by the police authorities with all the might, with all the force, and of course for the right reasons. Runjun, I'm coming back to you. It is very important that the Delhi government ensures that the lockdown is taken in the right spirit. We saw a lot of people coming out on the streets despite the lockdown. There were fears that, we're just beginning the Navratri festival from tomorrow. So that also raises a lot of concerns about people congregating and getting together at places. Right timing for the Delhi government to implement it with all the force from today.
Yes, and the Delhi government is not mincing its word. It's very, very clear. They're saying that, look, if you have no business being outside until absolutely necessary, you must stay at home. And of course, like I was pointing out earlier, the police on the streets is very, very, it's very vigilant in that sense. Yesterday there were many private vehicles that were on the road, but many of them were also sent back by the cops. If you were not able to give a justifiable reason for being out, you were sent back. Now the Delhi government is also, what they've said is that for the daily wagers who have to earn their living, that we'll make sure that we will provide you 2 meals.
And I'm sorry I'm interrupting you,
transaction
because there's a very important update which is coming in from Shaheen Bagh right now. Now, these are the live visuals we'll just show you in some time from now, where the nationwide lockdown over COVID-19 across India. Delhi's Shaheen Bagh, the heart of anti-CAA protests, it was cleared this morning after more than 3 months. Now, the protests were removed for being in violation of the ongoing lockdown in the national capital. This comes 2 days after Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal issued orders. These are the live visuals that we're getting you from Shaheen Bagh that I was talking to you earlier. Once the Delhi police has removed all the hoardings and all the temporary construction that existed there on the protest side, hundreds of people have gathered near Shaheen Bagh. They want to go back to the protest. Yesterday, there were visuals coming in that showed that the Shaheen Bagh was divided into 2 camps. There were the ones who wanted to go back because there's a coronavirus scare. There are others like them, and I can only say that it's stupid at this point in time to gather in such large numbers when social distancing is something that the health ministry, the government and WHO is talking about. It is bad for their own life. Zeba is with us on the broadcast. Zeba, help us understand the situation on the ground right now.
Well, as we have been reporting, the protesters themselves have been divided over this entire issue. A majority of women protesters were of the opinion that yes, the protest should be called off, considering that we are in the midst of a health crisis. Prioritizing our own safety is more important. But then there was another bunch of protesters who were of the opinion that the protest should continue, even if it is in a symbolic manner, because it will be impossible to regain momentum, the kind of momentum that the protest had gained. And because of which, 2 days ago in that meeting, despite many women opposing it, it was decided that the protest will continue. There were 5 women who were sitting in that protest tent. Today morning, Delhi police vacated it. They cleared off the area. They detained some protesters as well. And like you said, all the protest installations and all the temporary construction and protest material were cleared off from the area. There was heavy police presence there this morning. Now what we're witnessing is that some people have started gathering, some protesters from Shaheen Bagh have started gathering against the Delhi police's crackdown. What they fail to understand is that this is a difficult situation and the entire city is under lockdown, and this is of course a health crisis. It is, like you said, they are threatening their own safety and the safety of their loved ones by being gathered in this manner. A very, very clear violation of the lockdown protocols and pretty dangerous at this point, where we are tackling the coronavirus outbreak, where we're asking all people to stay at home, stay indoors, stay self-isolated. But at a time like this, some protesters in Shaheen Bagh have come out on the streets and are essentially protesting against Delhi police's crackdown this morning.
And Zeba, you and I here on CNN News 18 have been insisting about how social distancing is the way to go forward in the coming months, in the coming weeks. It's very crucial. As I look at these crowds, completely stuck near each other, completely jam-packed crowds that I can see. Social distancing is something that they don't know. And their opposition to CAA, they have all the right in the democracy to go ahead and peacefully protest. But right now, it's an epidemic that we are dealing with.
Certainly, in fact, this is a time when everyone has to come together and take a unanimous decision. We have to take a unanimous decision to stop the protest and to maintain social distancing, to stay self-isolated. What we're witnessing on our screens is a very, very dangerous procedure. It is a clear violation of all social distancing norms. It is very crucial at this point for people to take this seriously. It seems
Zeba, are there no community leaders in Shaheen Bagh who have sensitized them? Because community leaders at a point like this can play a very important role. They might have a trust deficit with the government authorities, with the Delhi police, but their own community leaders, the religious leaders, can come forward and communicate the message. Anything you know on that front?
Certainly. Well, there were multiple protests that were taking place against the Citizenship Amendment Act. In fact, the Jamia Millia Islamia University protest was also taking place simultaneously with Shaheen Bagh. It is in the same vicinity, and many people from the community of Shaheen Bagh are part of the Jamia protest. Now, the Jamia Coordination Committee called off its protest temporarily, suspended it, and did appeal to Shaheen Bagh and all other anti-CAA protesters all across the country to stop their protest, to get inside their homes, because this is a time of national, world, global health epidemic, and it is time to prioritize safety. These kind of appeals were made repeatedly by different camps over the past few days. Yet we have seen there remains a group in Shaheen Bagh which is adamant, and what we're witnessing on our screen is very, very dangerous. These people need to understand.
And Zeba, I totally agree with you. While many of us have said that NRC, CA, they are protesting against it, there has been a spirit that have been shown by them. But right now, all I can say is don't behave like Shaheen Bagh. It is not only stupid, it's also criminal at this point in time. There are prohibitory orders which are in place. Curfew-like restrictions have been imposed, and that is for your own safety and security. With that, it's a wrap from me on this edition of CNN News 18. Thank you for watching.